Welcome to the Spirit-Centered Business Podcast, where we blend the spiritual with the practical for supernatural results. Now, here is your host, Bralynn Newby.
Well, hello there. I missed you guys last week. I have to let you know, I lost my studio, and so now I haven't been able to have good enough internet to actually shoot a show with a guest. So it's up to God, as far as He told me to do spirit-centered business to do the show, and He also had given me the studio before. But here at home, I don't have consistent enough internet to do it. But I do want to just touch base with you and encourage you through this time. Yes, I'm on a swing here. That's Bralynn on a swing. I haven't done that in years. But I wanted to encourage you that sometimes during uncertainty in the world, and especially when they're pushing narratives that are not of God and are not true, and all of the stuff that you see on the news, and the whole Operation COVID-19 didn't work, and so they have to pull something else out of their hat and to cause chaos and ruination, the New World Order agenda stuff. But sometimes when all of this stuff is happening, it comes into us, and we start feeling a futility and a hopelessness around our own destiny, or around the efforts that we're putting in our business, or if we're in a job and it feels uncertain and it feels less stable, or like it's not a safe place to be as far as being providing, or something like that. It's not a sure thing, or it's not as sure as it used to be. And so, in the past, when all things are good, when the economy was just going rip-roaring, and we were having all-time highs, and unemployment at, all-time lows, and all of this amazing stuff was going on with the economy, you may have been thinking, wow, this is a really good time to start a business, or it's a really good time to transition the way I do business, or things like that. And now you may have given up on those dreams, and you may have given up, and you might think that's not a good time. And I just want to encourage you that if you have felt that pull and that tug to create a business that's really genuinely from your heart, a heart-based business, a message-based business, there's many different ways to get that out there. I'm going to be talking about a lot of those different ways in an upcoming masterclass that I'm doing, that I've kind of hinted around and told you guys, but it is really coming. It's really coming sooner than you think, and sooner than I'm prepared for. But no, it's all good. But anyway, where I was going with that is there's a lot of opportunity for us to step outside of the soul body experience and living from that place, and really step into being spirit centered, and really looking at the longer game, the bigger picture, the destiny that God has for you, and not only focusing on that spirit-centered place. In other words, don't be swayed by what's going on with the soulish. And just to clarify, your soul is your mind, will, and emotion. So of course, if your emotions are being swayed by all of the stuff going on, or if you actually pay attention to the news, or heaven forbid you actually believe it, you would think that everything's going to hell in a handbasket, excuse the language, but hell is a real place. But it's not true. You know, it's, I would just invite you to come up higher, look at things from a higher perspective. And I am so far from doing this all the time myself. I get caught up in low level emotional stuff as well. I am so far from perfect. So please, I'm encouraging you to do this because I'm preaching to myself here. So don't think that I'm I have all of the answers or I know how to do everything perfectly. This is what I'm inviting you to do. Take a look at your life and the bigger picture of what's going on with humanity, and also the bigger picture of what's going on with building the kingdom and creating on earth as it is in heaven, bringing heaven down to earth. Those things that are just not in our normal everyday experience here in the 3D world. I would just invite you to take a look from that standpoint, because it really changes things when you look from that perspective. And so in the context of your business, why would you be in business in the first place? It's to solve a problem, right? Just because the world is uncertain and there's a lot of hopelessness or despair or futility, seemingly futility going on, just because that's all going on does not mean that the problem that you're called to solve goes away. In fact, I would suggest that probably the problems that you're called to solve have become more amplified. And the people who need you to step up and release those solutions that you've been designed for, you went through all of that stuff back in your past and in your experience, and you learned lessons along the way. All of that was for a reason, and the people who need you to get over yourself and really just step out in faith and start this business are even more desperate for your solution now. And I know it's not easy. I know it's difficult. And let me tell you, we're never feeling like we're ready. It's like having a child, I guess. You never feel like you're ready. But if you never do it, you'll never do it. Obviously, you have to be in God's timing. I'm not telling you to run out and do that. But a lot of the times we sit there and think, oh, the timing isn't right. I don't feel ready. I'm waiting on the Lord. And He's actually waiting on you. And the timing is right. And it is right now. And there are people who need you. They need to hear your voice. They need the solution that you bring. And the difference that you can make and the difference that you are right now is that you're spirit-filled. You're spirit-centered. You have that spiritual grounding point that the people you have called to serve, or maybe the people you've called to serve, don't have. And so by you stepping out and trusting the call that God has been putting on you to, start a business, to release your voice, to have an online presence, to have an educational piece of a service that you provide or a product that you provide. There's an inspiration maybe that you want to provide. And let me be a little bit more clear on that. Say you're a yoga instructor and okay, that's a bad example, isn't it? For those of you okay, that's a bad example. Let's just say you're a fitness coach, okay? rewind. I'm not going to edit though. Let's just say you're a fitness coach and you realize that being a spirit-centered fitness coach, there's a lot of mind and emotional issues that go into being physically fit. And the level of fitness is greatly enhanced if you can use the power of your mind and visualization, and there's a lot of other spiritual stuff. But that's not necessarily something you can teach in a gym, right? So you could conceivably create a course, an online course, and invite your people who you have in the gym to sign up and go through the course with you, or a program or a membership, or one-on-one coaching, or other things that you could lead them and help them with that, the mindset, the visualization, the emotional, all of that, the other components to their fitness level. I'm just throwing this out there as an idea, or as an example of what I'm saying. Is there's maybe an educational or an inspirational piece to what you currently do that could really be a game changer, not only for the people that you serve, but for your business. Digital courses are huge. The coaching industry is huge. And I'll be going into more of that in the masterclass that I'm going to be releasing in a couple weeks. So I just wanted to encourage you, don't shrink back in a time when the world is shrinking back. This is your time to step out, and it's your time to shine. And you have it in you to do it. And you're not being called for no reason. And there are people who want to come alongside you and help you. And there are people on the other side that you need to help, and who are crying out for the solution that you bring. And they're crying out for someone to be different in the marketplace. And the difference that you bring is your own uniqueness, and it's also being spirit-centered. So that is my very short spirit-centered business show for today. And I desperately hope, not desperate, that's not a good word, I really, really, really hope that I have a studio soon so that I can begin to host my guests again. I've got some amazing guests lined up. They're in the wings, waiting to come on stage as soon as I have a stage again set for them. But I so appreciate your support. I appreciate you liking and sharing. A shout out to the Fringe Radio Network again, and Kingdom Talks Media again, for allowing me to be on your platform. And I do hope that I will be able to provide amazing content, amazing lessons, and introduce you to some amazing guests again very soon. All right, you guys, until the next time, stay spirit-centered. Peace out.
Thank you for listening to Spirit Centered Business with Bralynn Newby. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share with your friends. The next stage of doing business by being spirit-centered is coming together in collaboration, working with spiritual principles, and knowing our destiny. Join our tribe at spiritcenteredbusiness.com, and we'll catch you on the next broadcast. Peace out.